Be able to feel this. You feed them, you teach them, you drive them around, you stay up late worrying about them, you nurse them when they're sick. But now your children are going off to college.
God willing.
Empty nest syndrome is about to hit.
Some parents may be excited about the free time. Others will feel anxious and lonely. Joining us now is a psychotherapist, John Tsilimparis. Is this real, empty nest syndrome?
It is real. It's a condition that should never be understated or ignored. It affects some people very seriously. But by definition, it's a psychological condition that affects parents, both men and women, of coming-of-age children that have left the home for various reasons, basically going off to college or sometimes marriage. And it can cause them a lot of distress. They experience depression, anxiety, excessive worry about the welfare of their loved one.
Does it hit men and women, mothers and fathers differently?
Statistically, mothers more than men, yeah. And so the people that are, well, here, let's get it this way. The symptoms that they experience are usually depression, anxiety, as I mentioned, isolation, loneliness, and the most important one is they tend to lose a sense of purpose once the child's gone.
I suspect some moms and dads are watching us right now saying, hey, that's me.
Let's help them out.
What do you do? What are some tips?
Well, there's a lot of things to do. One is to try and remind yourself that it's very natural to have these feelings. And that there's nothing wrong with missing your child. Possibly missing your child is an indication of the kind of bond you have with your child, so it's a good thing. Another thing to do is to try and reframe the departure of your child more as a beginning and not an ending. Think about opportunities of doing things that you want to do in your life that you maybe were unable to do when you were raising kids.
Another piece of advice you have, which I appreciate, is don't make any other big changes. You have enough change going on right now.
Exactly.
Don't sell your house and move across the country.
Well said, well said. You don't want to accelerate the grieving, so you want to let things fall as they may and give some time. But yeah, you don't want to sell your house, move to another state.
It's not a good idea to get an apartment next to the university where my child is.
Bad idea.
To help.
Bad idea. Bad idea. Also, don't quit your job. Don't do anything drastic. You want to let the grieving, run its natural course. The other thing that's really important is to stay connected with your kids. These days, you can stay connected in so many ways. You can text, you can social network via Facebook, you can Skype, you can call, of course.
But how do you not do too much of that? Because you can smother from far away, too.
You can be a helicopter.
You have to find, you have to find that right balance.
So what I tell parents is try to refrain from the daily communication and maybe one time per week or twice a week just to make sure that they're okay.
Everything's good.
But you want to try and give space to the child so that they can start to build, their own lives together.
You guys are going to go through this.
Another good thing to remember, too, is when the house is empty, the empty nest, is to remember to consider possibly doing some volunteer work.
Fill your life with other stuff.
Yeah, putting yourself in a position where you can help other people and focus on others instead of focusing on the emptiness in your home.
And stop worrying about your kids don't love you anymore, but that's all right.
That's right.
All right, John Tsilimparis, I'm just kidding. Thank you very much. Good tips.
What a pleasure to have you with us.
Thanks a lot.